Bring in former New Mexico governor, former ambassador to the United Nations, and former presidential candidate Bill Richardson. Good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, I mean, this whole idea of that they can't get together on an agreement for the wall or for any kind of barrier, what do you think this means? I mean, is this going to be the next 2 years where the congressional Democrats are constantly resisting everything the president wants?
Well, the first thing you need to do is the president needs to get off this idea that unless he gets his way, there's going to be a government shutdown. That was very damaging to the country, and I think to the president, too. This is early. Look, the early talks did not go well yesterday, but we got till February 15th. You don't negotiate until the very end to get the best deal for both of you. But look, if there are more caravans, we're sending more troops. I was a border governor, like Mike Huckabee, governors. We got to deal with these things directly. What we need is more border detection equipment at border crossings. The Coast Guard needs to have more facilities. You don't need a wall. You go under a wall, over a wall. You have tunnels like El Chapo. That's not going to solve the problem. Let's have significant border security and agree on increased Border Patrol agents' budget.
Yeah.
That's the solution.
Governor, I want to bring in Governor Huckabee in a moment, but you said we don't need a wall. Isn't it true, though, that in some areas of the country, in fact, we do need a wall? For example, there is a wall in Nancy Pelosi's state right now which separates Tijuana and San Diego, where it's a very dense area. You've got 3 million people on one side of the Tijuana wall, another 3 million people on the other side in San Diego. If you tear down that wall, doesn't it, I mean, do you think that those people will just assimilate into the United States?
Well, look, I'm not advocating tearing down what is existing.
No, but you said we don't need a wall.
I'm saying that for the future.
Wall work. Would you say that that wall works?
No, that wall does not. No,
it doesn't work. So then why not tear it down?
It's not working. It's not working. It's that they have good Border Patrol agents, detection equipment. They know what they're doing.
So you would be okay tearing it down then? So then you would be okay tearing it down. You don't think that the 3 million people on the Tijuana side would assimilate into the 3 million people in the San Diego side?
No, I don't. That wall? I don't. You're using scare tactics. No,
I'm not scared. I'm just saying the facts,
enforcement. Sir. No, you're not. Those are not facts. Border immigration, illegal immigration has gone down.
What's not factual about what I just said?
It's gone down. Totally, all across the border. It's gone down.
All I'm asking you is, does that wall work to separate Tijuana from San Diego?
I don't think it makes much of a difference, but I'm saying leave it where it is, but give them more resources, more Border Patrol agents, detection equipment.
I think the president is saying that as well. Mike Huckabee, jump in here, because I think that the president does want a wall in certain areas, but in other areas he said that he agrees with the Democrats in terms of technology and drones.
Ambassador, you're one of my favorite Democrats. You know I love you. But I remember when Duncan Hunter was the one who put the appropriation in for that wall in San Diego, 95% of the drug trafficking stopped. I'm looking at Israel. They put up a wall, a security fence. They were condemned for it, but they went from 1,000 suicide bombers a year to 0 suicide bombers. I agree that walls don't need to go for the entire border because there's certain natural barriers, some electronics, but I just can't believe that people say that walls in certain places, whether it's a fence, whether it's a steel slat, just would not have an effect. And if that's true, then we should tear down the 600 miles that we already have. And I don't know of anybody who realistically thinks that makes good sense.
Well, Mike, first of all, the tactics that are being used to get that wall, which I think is very dubious to build because I don't think it'll work and it's too expensive, is that if the president doesn't get his way, he's going to shut down the government and he's going to do harm to 800,000 federal workers, businesses. And then this wall, Mike, I mean, it's going to take landowners out of there. It's going to take ranchers, indigenous people, wildlife. You're right. In most of the border, you can't build a wall because of the hills, because of the terrain.
Bill, he has been very flexible in saying that it's a combination of all of those things. It's not just a wall. But you say he's not been willing to give. I've not seen Nancy Pelosi give one inch, not 1 inch. And he's offering DACA, he's offering all sorts of concessions, he's making compromise. But tell me exactly where Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer is offering any kind of concession or compromise. I can't find it.
Well, they are offering significant funding increases in border enforcement and detection equipment that will work. Mike.
But
and then
that's
the president
not just
says,
to
if I
answer
don't get my
President
way,
Trump. That's
I'm going to
because
shut down the government. That is unprecedented. That is damaging to the country. Are we going to allow any president, they don't get their way, that the answer is going to be, I'm going to shut down the government? Mike, you're a good politician. You're my favorite Republican politician. This border shutdown was not good for the president, for Republicans.
Well, actually,
the country
I think that
blames him.
You know, when you look at the polls, the president really didn't get impacted very much. Nancy Pelosi's approvals actually went down.
Well, I don't know what poll you're reading, Maria.
Governor, the president is tweeting this morning.
I don't know what poll you're reading was significant damage to the president.
The president is tweeting this morning. Let me tell you what he says. He says Democrats are becoming the party of late-term abortion, high taxes, open borders, and crime. Your reaction?
Oh, I mean, he's into his campaign mode. This is like when he says to his intelligence people that we spend over $20 billion in intelligence, CIA, NSA, Department of Defense.
So is that tweet incorrect? Is that tweet inaccurate?
They're my buddies.
Wait, is that tweet inaccurate?
Totally inaccurate.
What's
totally inaccurate?
What's inaccurate?
The whole thing.
Wait,
it's
late-term
like the
abortion,
president saying to his
higher
intelligence
taxes?
people.
Which one? Late-term abortion,
totally
higher
inaccurate.
taxes?
Totally not.
Open borders?
This is
inaccurate,
ridiculous.
Governor?
No, open borders, that's ridiculous. All of that is ridiculous. There should be serious negotiations right now. And it's not happening. And the president's not helping with his tweets.
You know what the thing is? I mean, I know that a lot of your colleagues say that they're for border security, but they didn't vote for Kate's law. They didn't vote to end sanctuary cities. They didn't vote for a border wall. So how can you say you're for border security when you actually haven't done so in terms of your voting record?
Well, look at what the Democrats are proposing for this showdown. 1, more Border Patrol agents. 2, more Coast Guard assistance. 3, more drones. 4, all kinds of new technologies that will work.
Why do you think they voted for a wall before?
It's not going to work.
Why do you think they vote? Why did Nancy Pelosi vote for a wall before?
Perhaps that wall she voted for on her border.
But
all
why
I'm
is
saying
that not immoral?
Let's make this work. Let's make this work, but not threaten border shutdowns, not end the government working. That's what the president is saying. If I don't get my way, I'm going to shut down the government.
Good to see you, sir. Thanks so much. Bill Richardson joining us.